Okay, let's start the documentation. 3, 2, 1, smile. Again. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, let's go. So, before we begin, allow me to outline the format for this session. So, each presenter will have 10 minutes to deliver their presentation. And also, there will be 5 minutes for question and answer segment. So each person will have maximum 10 minutes for this presentation and Q&A. Okay, so let's start to the first presenter. Let us welcome our first presenter, Mrs. Sania Fariha, with title Indonesian Fake News Classification Using BLSTM with Indobert and Data Augmentation. For Miss Sania, time and place are welcome.
Thank you, Moderator. Good afternoon, everyone. It is a great honor to be here today to present my research on Indonesian fake news classification using BLSTM with Indobert and the documentation. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Sania Miltina Agnia Fariha, and I conducted this research alongside with my co-author, Mr. Kemas Muslim Laksmana at Telkom University. Before we begin, I would like to thank everyone for attending this session. I hope that my presentation today will provide valuable insight into the field of fake news detection, particularly in Indonesian context. Okay, here's the content list for today. The first one is introduction. This section introduces the challenge of fake news detection in Indonesia and discuss relevant studies. Second, methodology. The methodology outlines the process of building the model, starting from dataset collection and preprocessing, incorporating data augmentation to enhance data diversity and detailing the evaluation metric used to assess model performance. Third, result in discussion. This section presents the performance, highlighting our baseline method and the advantage of Indobert and data augmentation. And last, conclusion. This conclusion summarizes the study and contribution. Okay, now let's start with the introduction. As we know that the rapid spread of fake news has become a major issue in Indonesia, impacting various aspects of society, including politics, economics, and social stability. The challenge lies in the complexity of the Indonesian language, which includes rich semantics and contextual nuance. Therefore, an effective system is needed to accurately identify and classify fake news. Recent advancements in natural language processing have paved the way for more sophisticated approaches in fake news classification. In this research, we leverage BLSTM architecture within the word embeddings and implement data augmentation technique as data augmentation to improve model performance. Before diving into methodology, let's briefly discuss previous studies and related work in this domain. The first one is supervector machine or SVM models that utilize TF-IDF feature extraction. This achieve around 85% accuracy but struggle with understanding contextual meaning. Second, BLSTM combined with CNN models, which improve accuracy to 94.89%, but still relied on static word embeddings. And third, Indobert combined with LSTM, which reached 93.2% accuracy, yet like data augmentation techniques to enhance performance. From the studies, we identify two key factors for improvement. The first one is the need for contextual embedding to capture semantic meaning effectively. The second one is the importance of data augmentation to improve model generalization. So our research proposed a new approach that integrates by LSTM, Indobert embeddings, and back translation as data augmentation to enhance fake news classification accuracy. Our study contribute to develop a robust fake news detection model for Indonesian language by leveraging BLSTM architecture with Indobert embedding. and demonstrate the impact of data augmentation techniques such as back translation in enhancing model performance by increasing dataset diversity. Also compare the effectiveness of contextual embedding in the words and non-contextual embedding word to fact, highlighting the superiority of contextual embedding in capturing semantic nuance in text. Benchmark the BLSTM model against traditional classification models such as SVM, Decision Tree, and KNN, showcasing significant performance improvement. And last, address the lack of prior research focusing on the semantic and contextual complexities of the Indonesian fake news detection. Now let's move on our methodology and explain how we structure our study. Now our research follow these key steps. The first step is data collection. We obtain real news from detik.com and fake news from turnbackhawks.id. The dataset initially contained 14,342 news articles, which is 7,342 fake news and 7,000 real news. The second step is preprocessing. We perform data cleaning such as removing special characters, number, URLs, and we also normalize text by standardizing informal words. And then we remove stop word and perform stemming to convert words to their root forms. Third, for data augmentation, we use back translation, where we translate text into English and Japanese, and then back into Indonesian. This increases our dataset to 28,684 news articles. And fourth, for model architecture, we employ a BLSTM model with Indobird embeddings. Our architecture consists of two BLSTM with 128 and 64 units followed by dense layers. We also apply dropout and batch normalization to prevent overfitting. Sorry. Lastly, for evaluation metrics, we using accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score derived from the confusion matrix. And then next, now that we have covered our methodology, let's discuss the result and their implication in more details. The first one is the impact of data augmentation. Data augmentation played a crucial role in enhancing the model's performance. Initially, the model trained on the original dataset achieved 94.14% accuracy. However, after implementing back translation as data augmentation, the accuracy significantly improved to 99.58%. So why does this happen? This happened because back translation increased dataset diversity by introducing variation in sentence structure and wording while maintaining the original meaning. This enabled the model to generalize better to new unseen fake news pattern. And what does this mean? This means that our result confirm that training on a more diverse dataset enhance the model's robustness, reducing overfitting and improving generalization to different styles of fake news content. And the second comparison is embedding comparison. As we can see in the table, one of the key factors contributing to the model's high accuracy is the use of Indobird embedding instead of traditional word embeddings like word to fake. Indobird in the table achieved 99.58% accuracy, word to fake achieved 97.26 accuracy. So why is Indobird better than word to fake? Unlike word to fake, which relies on static word embeddings, Indobird capture contextual meaning dynamically. This means that words with multiple meanings are correctly interpreted based on their surrounding words, leading to more precise classification. Okay, next, for baseline comparison, to validate our approach, we compare our BLSTM model with Indobird and data augmentation against traditional machine learning models. As we can see in the table, SVM achieved 93.87 accuracy. Decision tree achieved 95.86% accuracy. KNN achieved 82.34 accuracy, and our approach by LSTM with Indobird and data augmentation achieved 99.58% accuracy. So why does by LSTM outperform traditional models? Traditional models like SVM and decision tree rely on feature-based approaches that fail to capture sequential dependencies in text. In contrast, by LSTM process word in both forward and backward direction, understanding the relationship between word more effectively. And why does KNN perform the worst? Because KNN depends on distance-based calculation, which are not well suited for high-dimensional text data, leading to poor classification performance. These findings highlight the significance of combining deep learning, contextual embedding, and data augmentation in tackling fake news classification. To conclude, our research demonstrates that BioSDM combined with Indobert embeddings and data augmentation significantly improve uh, fake news classification in the Indonesian language. The best performing model achieved 99.58% accuracy, surpassing traditional method like SVM, decision tree, and KNN. Indobert's contextual embedding capability make it superior to word-to-fact. And then back translation as data augmentation enhance that dataset diversity, improving model generalization and robustness. For future works, we suggest integrating multimodal data such as text, image, and videos to further enhance fake news detection accuracy. That conclude my presentation. Thank you for your attention, and I'm happy to take any question.
Okay, thank you, Miss Sania, for the presentation. So we will now open the question and answer section. So if you have any question, please use the raise hand feature in the Zoom or just write the question in the chat box. Okay, so the first question is from Mr. Fauzan. Please the question.
Okay, thank you for the time. I want to ask something. Why did you use back translation as the augmentation method? Thank you.
Thank you, Fauzan, for the question. Back translation was chosen because it introduces meaning preserving variation in text data by translating Indonesian news articles into English and Japanese, then translating them back to Indonesian, and we generate alternative sentence structure while maintaining the original context. This method effectively increased dataset diversity, helping the model recognize different ways of expressing fake and real news, and ultimately leading to improved generalization and performance. That's the answer from.
Okay, let's go to the second question in the chat box from Miss Aisa from Telkom University. As we know, the Indonesian language includes slang and informal expression. How does the model handle this variation? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Aisha, for the question. The Indobert model is pre-trained on a large corpus of Indonesian text, including social media, conversation, and informal text search, making it capable of understanding slang and informal expression. Additionally, during pre-processing, we apply text normalization techniques to convert informal words into their standard forms, ensuring consistency in the dataset. This approach helps the model correctly classify fake news even when written in non-standard language.
Okay, let's go to the third question from Miss Devi Zahra from Telkom University. How does the model differ between satire and actual fake news?
Okay, thank you, Devi, for the question. The question is, how does the model differently between satire and actual fake news? Satire from fake news is challenging because satire often contains deliberate exaggeration of humor, while fake news is designed to mislead. So our model use contextual embedding from Indobert, which help capture linguistic pattern and contextual clues unique to satire, such as hyperbolic language, irony, or specific humor markers. However, completely separating satire from fake news remains an open research challenge that could be improved by fine-tuning on a satire label dataset in future studies.
Okay, thank you for the answer. The time is still 2 minutes left. Is there any other question? Okay,
To ask a
I
question.
think it is the last question from Miss Anelia. I want to ask you a question. Did the size of your dataset affect the model performance?
Thank you, Ms. Analia, for the question. Yes, the dataset size has a significant impact on the model's performance. Initially, we work with the original dataset, and the accuracy is 94.14%. And after data augmentation, the dataset size was doubled, and the accuracy is up to 99.58%. So the increased dataset diversity allow the model to generalize better, reducing overfitting and improving robustness. Okay. That's the answer.
Okay, I think this is gonna be the last question from Miss Putri Ayu. The question is, does the model work well with regional dialect and local linguistic variation in Indonesia?
Thank you, Ms. Putri. Indobert is trained primarily on standard Indonesian text, which means its performance on regional dialect may be limited, while it can understand widely used informal language and slang. Highly localized dialect might require additional fine-tuning, with region-specific data. Future improvement could include training on dataset that contain a mix of regional dialects to ensure better adaptability across different linguistic variation found in Indonesia.
Okay, thank you, Miss Sania, for the answer. Because the time is already end, we must move on to the next presenter. If anyone want to ask another question, you can just directly contact Miss Sania during the break session. Okay, for the next presenter, please welcome Mr. Ade Faturrahman with title Unveiling the Truth, Detecting Fake News Using SVM and TF-IDF. For Mr. Ade Faturrahman, time and place are welcome.
Okay, thanks for the opportunity. First, okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of in this insightful session of the 2025 International Conference on Advancement in Data Science and Information (ICADIS), allow me to thank for opportunity that has given to us to present the paper Unveiling the Truth, Detecting Fake News using SPM and the same time, let me introduce the speaker and the author. The speaker today, I am Ade Faturrahman, Mr. Andi Rizal, and Alam Rahmatullah, Mrs. Erna Hairani from Silwang University, Ali Imron from Muhammadiyah University of Sapit, and Professor Irfan Darmawan from Telkom University. Next session is introduction. Spread fake news causing political tension and eroding trust in media. Fake news has become a serious threat in digital age. Its rapid spread through social media and other digital platforms often cause political tension. Fake news is emotional and hard to distinguish, especially from unverified source. One of the main challenges in detecting fake news is difficult to distinguish from real news, especially when the source of the information is not verified. Machine learning is one technique to identify fake news through text processing. Technology for machine learning has become one of the main approach in detecting fake news. Utilizing text processing technique, machine learning enable in-depth analysis on pattern in news content to identify its authenticity. This study aims to optimize SPM with TF-IDF to improve fake news detection accuracy. Okay. Next, related study and contribution. A study developed an NLP-based fake news model detection achieved 93% accuracy with passive aggressive, highlighting challenge in handling fake news complexity. The study used SPM, logistic regression, and random forest on a large dataset, achieving over 19% accuracy. It is effective real time, but it requires a large dataset and is vulnerable to adversarial attacks. The next research is in 2023, evaluate machine and deep learning for fake news detection, escaping 93.59% accuracy with STM, and 93.96% with XGBoost. It effectively identification complex pattern but require high quality dataset. This research confirmed the effectiveness of TF-IDF in feature extraction to support vector machine (SVM) in accurately distinguish between fake and real news, providing a lightweight and efficient solution for scenario with limited resource. Okay, next in research method, the first step is data collection. This research utilized news data from the U.S. election and relevant news dataset. This dataset include a wide range of factual and fake news, providing a broad scope of fake news detection model. The next step is data processing. In this step, we are including shuffling, tasking, tokenization, and stemming. This step ensure that the data is clean, structured, and ready to analyze by machine learning model. Next step is data exploration. In this step, we use word cloud for analyzing. The next step is picture engineering. We use TF-IDF or term frequency inverse document frequency, which TF-IDF technique is used for picture extraction. Effective approach to represent text numerically so that the model can understand the relationship between words and documents in the dataset. The next step is data splitting, training data 80% and testing data 20%. The next step is modernization. In this step, we're using various algorithm like logistic regression, decision tree, random forest, super vector machine, canary and naive Bayes. And the last step is model evaluation using coefficient matrix. Okay, next in the word cloud in the dataset 1, the US selection dataset so words such as people, Trump, Clinton, and other. The occurrence of the word election, Republican Party, and vote show how focus on American election and politics, representing the main themes of political activity and society. Meanwhile, in the word cloud dataset 2, while not dataset that focus entirely on US domestic political, there are many words appear most frequently, like Trump, Clinton, Republican, Democrat, and others. The frequency of country names such as North Korea, Russia, China shows the frequent coverage of US rival, reflecting America active foreign policy. Okay, the next slide. In the composition matrix, as can be seen, the composition matrix of dataset 1 show that SPM model effectively predict false and true label with 584 to positive and 600 to negative. This classification include 46 false negative and 29 false positive. Meanwhile, in the dataset 2, SPM model perform well with 4,743 to positive and 4,205 to negative. This classification include 30 false positive and 23 false negative. The model outperformed dataset 1 by minimizing false positive, demonstrating excellent performance in the composition matrix. In the experimental result, as can be seen in the bot table, the support vector machine algorithm gets better accuracy result than other algorithm. On the last 94.1%, and meanwhile in the dataset 2, support vector machine gets an accuracy 99.6% accuracy. Okay, for conclusion, this study demonstrates that the combination of the support vector machine algorithm and TF-IDF approach effectively classifying and detect fake news with 99.6% accuracy, outperforming other algorithm like random forest and logistic regression. The model successfully distinguish fake news from the real news, advancing machine learning-based techniques in this field. However, this technique has a limitation, including lower effectiveness, performance, inability to recognize synonym, high data dimension, high memory usage, and difficult capturing global context. For future research should explore the use more comprehensive multilingual and complex data set to better reflect real world scenario. Additionally, employing transformer-based or similar model could provide deeper understanding of linguistic context and semantic relationship, ultimately improving the robustness and accuracy of fake news detection system. Thank you for attention. I look forward any question or discussion. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ade, for the presentation. Now the question and answer segment will be open. So anyone, is there any question? Anyone, you can raise your hand, chat in chat box. Okay, while we wait other question, I have a question. So my question is, how does the combination of SVM and TF-IDF contribute to improving the accuracy of fake news detection compared to other machine learning approach?
Okay. Why SPM and TF-IDF has chosen to this
Yeah.
paper? SPM was chosen because it has strong performance in data separation with maximum margin, while TF-IDF provides lightweight and effective approach in text representation. Compared to deep learning, such as BERT or STM, this combination is more resource efficient, has better interpretability, and does not require a fairly large dataset for training. This result outperforms previous study with similar dataset. Okay. See now.
Okay, that's enough. Thank you, Ms. Rade. Is there any other question? Okay, so maybe because there is no other question, we can just move to the next presenter. Okay, so please welcome Mr. Nathaniel Susianto Stanto with title New Sentiment Enhanced GRU Encoder Decoder for Advanced USD IDR Exchange Rate Forecasting. For Mr. Nathaniel, time and place are welcome.
Okay, thank you. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nathaniel Susianto, and today I'll be presenting my paper titled New Sentiment Enhanced GRU Encoder Decoder for Advanced USD IDR Exchange Rate Forecasting, which is written by me and guided by my lecturer, Mr. Henry Lupi. So first, to outline the content of my presentation today, I'll be having a background discussing the background of this research, and then the methodologies. Next up, we have the results and discussion, and finally, the conclusion for my research. So first of all, for the background, currency rate prediction is important for various stakeholders and also us as normal everyday person, because it affects the prices of everyday items. And the changes in currency rate, as we all know, is also influenced by various factors such as the global economy and also the sentiments of the financial sector. So by integrating the factors influencing currency rates, a deep learning model could perform better prediction by having an extra feature, which is the sentiments and others. So existing research primarily employed simple RNN, such as CNN and also LSTM. The downside of these simpler RNN is that they fail to capture the additional sentiments that have been added to these models. Therefore, through this research, we aim to do two things. First one is to compare various RNN models.
Langsung nanya, langsung ngejawab. Anu tita ako, bagian orangnya, awan na jajan mau datang.
Okay, to continue, which is the LSTM, GRU, and GRU encoder-decoder model to find out which of these models perform the best in forecasting. And then the second objective is to analyze the impact of incorporating news headline sentiments towards the USD-IDR exchange rate. So for the methodology, the first step is the data collection and pre-processing. So the data is collected from two sources. The first one is Google News to collect the data of the news headlines. And the second one is Yahoo Finance to collect the close price of the USD-IDR exchange rate. Both of these are available in Python as a library. And then afterwards, the news headline data is going to be analyzed by a Finbert model, which will produce three sentiments. The first one is positive, neutral, and negative sentiments. And then for the close price of the USD-IDR data, is the price is going to be min-max normalized to provide a smaller range between 0 to 1 for the model to easily calculate and create forecasting predictions. Afterwards, both data is combined to create a data set like the chart on the right, where the sentiment is going to be averaged daily, and then the daily sentiment is going to be combined into one feature, which is the average sentiment, while the other feature is the normalized USD-IDR close price that has been normalized from 0 to 1. The next step is the RNN modeling. So for the modeling, we are going to train a total of 6 models consisting of 2 LSTM, 2 GRU, and 2 GRU-based encoder-decoder models. So one of each of these models is going to be trained using only the close price data, making it a univariate model. Meanwhile, the second model is going to be trained using both the close price and the news sentiment data. The univariate model is going to be our baseline for comparison to conclude how news sentiments can improve the performance of a model. And then on the chart on the left here, we can see the structure of each model. The difference between the univariate and the multivariate model is located in the input layer, where it is denoted by n, meaning the multivariate model we have n equals 2 since it has 2 features, while the univariate only has 1 feature. And then the final step is the model evaluation. The models that have been trained in this research is going to be evaluated using 3 error metrics: RMSE or root mean squared error, MAE or mean absolute error, and MEPE or mean absolute percentage error. The errors for 3rd, 6th, and 12th day of forecasting will be evaluated to show how the model is capable in doing multi-step forecasting, where if it managed to keep a consistent error from the 1st day to the 12th day, then it could be concluded that the model is capable of doing a long-term forecast. And then using these evaluation metrics, the model with the lowest average error is going to be the best forecasting model. Then for the results and discussion, right off we can see from this table that all 3 error metrics show a similar trend where MAE, MEPE, and RMSE show a similar rise and fall in the values because how similar these 3 metrics are calculated. And then we can also see that the sentiment LSTM and encoder-decoder could score lower errors than its vanilla counterpart, which is the univariate model trained only on the close price. Meanwhile, the sentiment GRU model failed to do the same on long-term forecasting, where on the 12th day, the sentiment GRU has a higher error compared to the vanilla GRU. This means that the sentiment GRU is not that capable of doing long-term forecasts, where it is only best for forecasting up to the 6th day, while for the LSTM and encoder-decoder, it is a great model for long-term forecasting since it could manage a consistent error score. And then from these comparisons, we could also see that the addition of sentiment could improve the model's performance since all the sentiment models could score a lower error compared to the vanilla models. And then from this chart, we can also see that the GRU model from the previous table, it it is only capable of doing good forecasting only up till the sixth day. Meanwhile, the more complex encoder-decoder model, which is also based on GRU, as denoted by the gray and black line there, could score consistent errors from the second day up to the 12th day. And the sentiment enhanced encoder-decoder even managed to score a lower error on the 12th day compared to the second day, meaning that this model is a very good model for long-term forecasting, since the error on the 12th day and the second day is pretty much the same. So finally, to conclude my research, the encoder-decoder model with edit sentiment comes out the best with the lowest error scores, as can be seen from the chart previously. And then the encoder-decoder model with edit sentiment also managed to keep a stable error when predicting 12 days ahead, meaning that it is an excellent model for long-term forecasting. Meanwhile, the normal GRU model could only score a great error only up to the sixth day, meaning that it is only good enough for short-term forecasting. And then from this, we could also see that the usage of an encoder-decoder model could capture the additional sentiments and thus provide a better error compared to the normal GRU that has a spike in error on the later day. And then the addition of these sentiments also improved the USD exchange rate forecasting, since all the model with edit sentiment has better errors compared to the vanilla models that is not trained using additional sentiment models. And for future works, they could also expand the usage of sentiments to see its effectiveness on other currencies. And then the integration of other sentiment sources, such as tweets or maybe other social media sources, could also potentially refine the predictive capability of a model. Maybe other models too, which use other deep learning methods. So that's all for my presentation today. Feel free to ask any questions, and thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you for Mr. Nathaniel for the presentation. So the question and answer session is now open. Is there any question? Okay, Mr. Nathaniel, I have one question. How does adding new sentiment to the GRU encoder-decoder model help improve the accuracy of predicting the USD IDR exchange rate?
So the addition of new sentiments, it could, I guess, show an additional feature where the previous prices from, or like the new sentiments from previous day, if it's positive, then maybe the next day price will also be positive. Or if the new sentiments from the previous day for USD IDR is negative, then the next day price for the USD IDR would probably also go down. This is where the addition of new sentiments could help the model in making the decision to like create a forecast that is higher than today or lower than today by using the negative or positive sentiments.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nathaniel, for the answer. Is still any other question for Mr. Nathaniel? Okay, if not, let's move to the next presenter. Thank you, Mr. Nathaniel. So, for the next presenter, please welcome Mr. Wahyu Nata Mahendra with title Detection of Depression on Social Media X with Fast Text Feature Expansion using Hybrid Deep Learning CNN GRU. For Mr. Wahyu Nata, time and place are welcome.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to be here today at the 2025 International Conference on Advancement in Data Science, E-Learning, and Information System. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Wayunata Mahendra, and I'm the presenter of this session. This work has been collaboratively authored by me and my co-author, Mr. Erwin Briskiawan. Today, I will be presenting our research title, Detection of Depression on Social Media X with FastTag Feature Expansion using Hybrid Deep Learning CNN GRU. There are 4 main topics that will be presented in this presentation. There are introduction, data study and contribution, research method, and experiment results. The first section is introduction. Depression affects about 280 million people worldwide and causes 800,000 suicides every year, according to the World Health Organization. Early detection of depression symptoms is very important. Social media such as X, which is widely used in Indonesia, is often a place where users express depression-related emotions. Research focusing on Indonesian data using hybrid methods, such as CNN GRU and FastTag, is limited. The study aimed to improve the accuracy of depression detection using Indonesian language X data, support early intervention, and strengthen mental health efforts in Indonesia. And the second section is related study and contributions. Here, we summarize some related research on depression detection using deep learning and hybrid deep learning approach, as shown in the table. The first study focused on detecting depression on Twitter using CNN and FastTag crawl embedding. The study achieved an advanced score of 0.898 and an accuracy of 91%, highlighting the power of CNN in sentiment analysis. The second study introduced a decision fusion model using BERT for feature extraction and LSTM for temporal analysis. The best result include a precision of 0.82 and advanced score of 0.81. This approach offers new insight into sentence embedding-based analysis. Lastly, propose the comma model, combining CNN for visual features and GRU for textual analysis, powered by the VGGNet architecture. The result include an advanced score of 1.90 and an accuracy of 90%. However, the study did not use feature expansion. This research improved depression detection with a CNN GRU hybrid model optimized with FastTag on Indonesian language X data. The results are expected to support early intervention, increase mental health awareness, and provide insight for health sector in Indonesia. And the third section is research methods. We propose a hybrid deep learning model for depression detection from X data. The process includes data collection, labeling, and pre-processing, as well as feature extraction with TF-IDF and expansion with FastText. For model variations, there are CNN, GRU, CNN combined GRU, and GRU combined CNN were developed to capture patterns in the data. Optimization was performed by fine-tuning, and evaluation determined the best model for more accurate depression detection. And then a total of 50,523 tweets were collected via API-X with depression-related keywords and labeled depression and non-depression equally. The pre-processing process includes data cleaning, stopword removal, scaffolding, normalization, stemming, and tokenization. So the data is ready to be used for the hybrid deep learning model. This research used TF-IDF to represent tweet data and FastTag to overcome vocabulary mismatch by analyzing word similarity through n-grams. FastTag replaced zero-weight words with semantically similar terms from the tweets, Indonews, and their combinations datasets. In addition, FastTag applies top-N ranking, such as top 1, top 5, top 10, to find the most semantically similar words. And then CNN recognized local pattern in the text with convolution one-dimensional to extract n-gram features, max pooling one-dimensional to reduce dimensionality and noise, and dropout to prevent overfitting. GRU process word order to understand temporal context. The hybrid CNN combined GRU and GRU combined CNN models combine the strength of both, improving the accuracy of depression detection in Indonesia tweets at X. And the fourth section is experiment results. The study tests 3 scenarios to evaluate the depression detection model. Scenario 1 used a 90:10 data ratio with TF-IDF and 50% dropout. resulting in the highest accuracy on CNN. Scenario 2 show the combination of unigram combined bigram combined trigram improve the accuracy of all models, with CNN reaching 83.44%. Scenario 3 found the hybrid model more optimal at 5,000 features, with CNN combined GRU achieving 82.10% accuracy. And then this research improves the performance of the model with two additional scenarios. Scenario 4 use FastTag to extend features by replacing unrepresented words using the corpus of tweets, Indonews, and their combinations. The hybrid CNN combined GRU and GRU combined CNN models achieve the best accuracy of 83.12% and 83.32% on the combined corpus, improving more than 1% from the base model. Scenario 5 test the optimization algorithm, where CNN combined GRU with NADAM result in 86.92% recall, while GRU combined CNN achieved the highest accuracy of 83.32% with ADAM. The non-hybrid CNN and GRU models record high baseline accuracy of 83.44% and 82.97% respectively, but only saw small improvement in the advancement scenarios such as max feature and feature expansion. In contrast, the hybrid models show a more stable improvement, with GRU combined CNN achieving 83.32% accuracy and CNN combined GRU achieving 83.12% in the feature expansion scenario. However, the statistical tests only show significant improvement in the n-gram scenario over the baseline. And then there are the visualization about model accuracy improvement for general scenarios. And then the CNN combined GRU models with NADAM optimizer achieve 83.19% accuracy, and GRU combined CNN with ADAMS optimizer achieve 83.32%. Significant improvements were seen in the n-gram and optimization scenarios, but not in feature expansion and optimization. And there are the visualization about model accuracy improvement for hybrid scenarios. This research used CNN, GRU, and hybrid models to detect depression in 50,523 Indonesian tweets with FastTag support for feature expansion and optimization techniques. The hybrid models show better performance improvement compared to non-hybrid, with CNN combined GRU achieving 83.19% accuracy and GRU combined CNN achieving 83.32%. Optimization using NADAM and ADAM further improve performance. This research highlights the effectiveness of hybrid model and recommends the exploration of feature expansion methods and data from other platforms for further development. Well, that was our presentation on detection depression on social media X with FastTag feature expansion using hybrid deep learning CNN and GRU. Thank you to IKADIS 2025 and the audience for listening to our presentation. I would also like to thank my co-authors, supervisors, and all those who have supported this research. If there are any questions or further discussion, I will be happy to answer them. Once again, thank you, and I hope this presentation can provide new insight for all of us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wahyu, for the great presentation. So the question and answer section, it's now open. Okay. First question from Mr. Muhammad Dava.
Yes, can you hear me loud and clear, Mr. Bima?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, Mr. Bima. So, quick question for Mr. Wahyu. I only want to know that what are the biggest challenges in implementing this model on a large scale? Maybe that's all. Thank you. You can answer it.
Okay, thank you for the question, Mr. Dava. I want to answer the question. The answer is some of the biggest challenges are the one is data privacy. There are social media analytics must consider user privacy, and then involving language, slang, and language trends can change rapidly on social media. And then bias in data. Datasets might have gender, age, or certain demographic bias. And then the last is misclassifications. Models can misjudge someone who is joking as having depressions. And there are the answer.
Okay, let's go to the next question from Mr. M. Raffi Atalah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Mahen. In your study, I have a question regarding the CNN-GRU hybrid approach. Why does it outperform individual CNN and GRU models in the depression detection for X, even though each model has its own strength?
Okay, thank you for the questions, Mr. Rafiatullah. I want to answer the questions. The answer is the CNN-GRU hybrid approach is superior because it combines the strength of two different deep learning architecture. CNN is very good to extracting special features from text, such as word patterns and n-grams, while GRU is very effective at understanding the temporal context of word or the relationship in text. When CNN is used first, the model can capture local feature patterns before passing them to GRU to understand the sequence and context of the text more broadly. Conversely, if GRU is used first, the model better understands the context before CNN extracts specific patterns in the sentence. In the study, the hybrid model was shown to improve accuracy with the best results, reaching 83.32% in GRU combined CNN and 83.19% in CNN combined GRU, indicating that the combination of these two techniques is able to capture text characteristics better than individual models.
Okay, let's go to the third question. Muhammad Zakiuddin.
Okay, Mr. Mahen, another quick question. How can this model be used to prevent suicides?
Okay, thank you for the question, Mr. Muhammad Zakiuddin. The answer is, with an early warning system, the model can identify high-risk user and notify authorities or psychological service for quick interventions. And that's the answer.
Okay, thank you for the answer. So there is another question in the chat box from Mr. Brilliant Jordan from Telkom University. Can this model detect depression with good enough accuracy on slang and emojis that are often used in X?
I'm sorry, can repeat the question?
Question is, can this model detect depression with good enough accuracy on slang and emojis that are often used in X?
Okay, thank you for the question. I want to answer the question. Currently, the model still has limitation in understanding slang and emoji because TF-IDF and FASTag are word-based, not symbols or visual expressions. However, this can be overcome by adding expansion feature for slang and abbreviations. For example, using online slang dictionaries and using specialized embedding for emoji such as emoji to fact to capture emoji meaning in text analysis, and then using transformer models that can handle contextual meaning better. And that is the answer.
Okay, I think that is the last question. So, thank you for Mr. Wahyu for the answer. We can move on to the next presenter. Please welcome Mr. Marvin Lukianto with title Enhancing Emotion Detection with Bidirectional GRU Network, a deep learning approach using dropout and batch normalization. For Mr. Marvin, time and place are welcome.
Okay, wait a minute.
Titled Enhancing Emotion Detection with Bidirectional GRU Networks, a deep learning approach using dropout and batch normalization. The ability to understand emotions from text has become increasingly vital in today's digital age, where interactions often occur in virtual environments. Whether it's for sentiment analysis, customer feedback, or mental health applications, effective emotion detection plays a key role in bridging the gap between humans and technology. In this research, we focused on leveraging advanced deep learning techniques, specifically bidirectional gated recurrent units, to enhance the accuracy and robustness of emotion detection systems. By integrating dropout and batch normalization techniques, our approach not only addresses overfitting, but also improves training efficiency. Before we dive into the details of our research, let me walk you through the structure of our presentation. We've organized it into 4 main sections for clarity and flow. Emotions are an essential part of human behavior, often expressed through text, especially on social media platforms like Twitter. While text provides valuable insights, it's challenging to extract meaningful emotions due to noise, context variability, and the complexity of language. Traditional methods like bag of words struggle with issues like sarcasm and context dependence. To solve this, we developed a framework using bidirectional GRU network. These capture the context more effectively. We added dropout to prevent overfitting and batch normalization to stabilize and speed up the training process. Our approach improves accuracy and handles the complexities of emotion detection, providing a reliable solution for analyzing emotions in text. Imagine trying to understand emotions in text with outdated methods like bag of words or TF-IDs. These approaches struggle because they treat words like isolated pieces, ignoring the flow and relationships between them. This makes it nearly impossible to detect sarcasm or handle words with multiple meanings. Keyword-based methods aren't much better. They rely on static word lists that lack context, leading to frequent misinterpretations. But with deep learning, things are different. Models like ERNS, LessStems, and GRUS excel by capturing the natural sequence and meaning of words. Bidirectional ERNS take it even further, reading text both forward and backward to better grasp the context. Even more powerful are hybrid models, like GRUS combined with CNNs, which combine temporal and spatial features for greater accuracy. Techniques like dropout and batch normalization make these models robust and efficient. Details of the comparative evaluation of deep learning models for emotion detection and classification using bidirectional GRU networks, enhanced with dropout and batch normalization techniques, are presented schematically in Figure 1. The study utilized the emotion dataset, a widely recognized resource in natural language processing, NLP, the sentiment analysis and emotion detection task. This dataset is specifically designed to support emotion classification by providing a comprehensive collection of English language Twitter messages labeled with 6 basic emotions: anger, fear, joy, love, sadness, and surprise. It serves as a valuable foundation for developing and evaluating models aimed at understanding emotional expressions in social media context. The dataset comprises 416,809 examples, split into training, validation, and testing sets, with a composition of 80-10-10. The dataset's class distribution, shown in Figure 2, highlights the number of examples for each emotion: anger, fear, joy, love, sadness, and surprise. To ensure the dataset's quality and suitability for training, several pre-processing steps were performed. These steps aim to standardize the data, remove noise, and address class imbalances for improved model performance. The key pre-processing techniques are outlined in Table I. The architecture of the proposed BigGRU model, illustrated in Figure 5, was designed to leverage bidirectional processing for robust emotion classification. By integrating advanced techniques such as dropout and batch normalization, the model ensures stable training, minimizes overfitting, and enhances generalization to unseen data. This proposed model demonstrated strong performance in capturing subtle emotional patterns, validating its suitability for the objectives of this research. The experiment detailed in this paper utilizes the TensorFlow framework, with the model's parameter settings being crucial to its training efficiency and overall performance. Table I provides a summary of the specific parameter configurations for the bidirectional GRU model, which were meticulously adjusted to achieve optimal outcomes. This study carefully selected parameter configurations to optimize the performance of the bidirectional GRU model. The GRU layers were configured with units 120, 64, 64 to effectively capture temporal dependencies, with the first layer dedicated to extracting complex, high-dimensional features and the subsequent layers refining these representations to enhance learning efficiency. To address the issue of overfitting, a dropout rate of 0.5 was implemented, deactivating 50% of neurons during training to improve the model's generalization to unseen data. These parameter settings were determined through systematic testing and fine-tuning to ensure optimal model performance. This study systematically evaluated the performance of three prominent deep learning models: convolutional neural network, CANN, bidirectional long short-term memory, BILSTEM, and bidirectional gated recurrent unit, BIGRU, on the emotion dataset focusing on text-based emotion classification. The models were assessed using key performance metrics, including accuracy, precision, recall, and phone score. The results provide critical insights into the effectiveness and nuances of each model's performance. Table IV presents the comparative evaluation of the three models based on the chosen metric. The BIGRU model demonstrated the highest performance among the evaluated models, achieving an accuracy of 93.83, precision of 93.83, recall of 93.83, and phone score of 93. These results indicate that the BIGRU model outperforms CANN and BILSTEM across all metrics, showcasing its ability to effectively classify emotions in the dataset. Figure 7 depicts the accuracy and loss graphs for the BIGRU model during both the training and validation phases. The graphs illustrate the steady decline in loss and the consistent increase in accuracy over epochs, reflecting the model's convergence and stability. These results validate the BIGRU's effectiveness in minimizing loss and improving accuracy, underscoring its suitability for emotion classification tasks. The receiver operating characteristic, ROC, curve shown in Figure 9, provides a comprehensive evaluation of the model's multi-class classification tasks, offering deeper insights into its discriminative performance across different classes. Each curve represents the performance for one of the 6 emotion classes: sadness, joy, love, anger, fear, and surprise. The area under the curve, AUK, for each class is close to or equal to 1.00, indicating excellent discriminatory power. The micro-average AUK is also 1.00, further confirming the model's overall ability to differentiate between positive and negative instances across all classes. The ROC curve demonstrates that the model performs exceptionally well in classifying emotions, with minimal overlap between positive and negative predictions. This high level of performance supports the conclusion that the model is highly effective in emotion detection tasks, providing robust and accurate predictions across all emotional categories. The evaluation results confirm that the BIGRU model is well suited for emotion classification tasks, demonstrating high accuracy, precision, recall, and phone scores across all emotion classes. To provide a more comprehensive evaluation of the model's performance beyond standard accuracy and loss metrics, this study employed the confusion matrix. The confusion matrix offers a detailed breakdown of classification outcomes, including true positives, TP, false positives, FP, P, false negatives, FU, and true negatives, N, thereby identifying specific areas for improvement. This approach facilitates a deeper understanding of the model's capability to accurately classify positive and negative instances, enhancing the interpretability of its performance beyond aggregate metrics. The confusion matrix in Figure 8 provides a comprehensive evaluation of the model's performance across 6 emotion classes: sadness, joy, love, anger, fear, and surprise. In conclusion, BIGRU has proven to be a highly effective technique for emotion detection, with promising applications in sentiment analysis, mental health monitoring, and improving human-computer interactions. As we look ahead, addressing challenges like emotion, overlap through advanced models such as transformers and attention mechanisms, and exploring multilingual or multimodal datasets will drive further innovation. This work contributes to the growing field of emotion detection, supporting the development of smarter systems capable of understanding and responding to human emotions effectively. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Marvin, for the presentation. So the question and answer section will be open. Is there any question? Okay, so I have a question. What are the key improvements that the proposed model achieve over previous deep learning approach in emotion detection?
So, okay, I will answer your question. The improvement on our model between the previous model is our model reducing the overfitting struggles that overcome on previous model. We are using dropout layer and also batch normalization. It keeps the model learn more faster than the previous model. Only that.
Okay, is there any other question? Okay, if there is no other question, I think that's all for the presenter. But before I close this section, for anyone that need to screenshot the evidence for lecturer, you can share your screen again right now. If you want to take a screenshot for evidence.
Okay, permission to share. Okay, thank you.
Okay, is there any other person?
Okay, thank you.
Is there any other person? Okay, if it is not, I would like to thank for all the presenter for their exceptional contribution and insight. And also, I want to say thank you for all the participants. And I hope this session has been both informative and inspiring. So I will be reminded the next session will begin at 15:30. And if for anyone who still want to have a discussion in the conference, you can stay in the meet. So that's all. Thank you once again and have a wonderful day.